It's strange, isn't it? We have more tools, more access, more ways to connect than any generation before us. We can work from anywhere, talk to anyone, and fill every minute of our day with something productive. And yet, many of us feel like we're slowly fading. Maybe it's not that we're burned out because of doing too little. Maybe we're burned out from carrying too much, too many expectations, too many distractions, too many invisible pressures we never agreed to in the first place. There are moments when everything around us is full. Our calendar, our inbox, our to-do list, and yet inside, something feels missing. A quiet discomfort that's hard to name but easy to recognize. This video isn't about adding more tasks or routines to an already packed life. It's about stepping back and rethinking the way we live. What if the answer isn't to do more, but to choose differently? Here are 10 quiet shifts in how we live that might bring you back to what really matters. Some of them are simple changes you can make today. And if you stay until the end, you'll find one that most people overlook, but often makes the biggest difference. Number 1, work just enough to leave room for living. One of the simplest ways to live more harmoniously is to balance your day into 3 equal parts. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of good sleep, and 8 hours of leisure activities. This is called the 8-8-8 rule. 8 hours of hard work. This means dedicating yourself to your professional or academic goals, or any tasks that need your attention. It's about doing your best during those hours, staying focused, avoiding distractions, and not letting stress take over. The goal is to work with quality, not just stay busy. But when you stop, that time is over. You don't let work follow you into dinner or into bed. 8 hours of good sleep. This means getting enough rest and recovery for your body and mind. By sleeping well for 8 hours a night, you can improve your physical and mental health as well as your mood and energy levels. This works best when you go to bed at a regular time, avoid screens and caffeine before sleep, and make your bedroom quiet and comfortable. 8 hours of leisure activities. It's time for everything that brings you joy and helps you feel alive. Spending time with people you care about, moving your body, enjoying a hobby, or just relaxing. Number 2, let nature remind us who we are. In many places, spending time in nature feels like a special event. But in places where life feels more balanced, nature is more like a daily habit. Not because people there are more free, but because they understand something simple. We are not separate from nature. We are part of it. Something shifts when you step outside and feel the cold air on your face or the ground steady beneath your feet. It's not just calming, it's remembering. Remembering that the world is wider than our screens, that we're still connected to something older, slower, and deeply healing. You don't need to hike a mountain to reconnect. Sometimes a small moment is enough. Opening a window and feeling the fresh air. Watering a plant on your balcony. Sitting in the sunlight for a few minutes without doing anything else. When we let nature back in, even for a few minutes a day, we often find that we also let ourselves come back. Number 3, keep only what truly matters. There's a simple thought experiment that has changed the way many people see the things they own. It's called the house on fire rule. Imagine that everything you own, your clothes, your furniture, all the objects you've collected over the years, disappears overnight. No one is hurt, but the physical items are simply gone. What would you truly miss? That question reveals something important. Because when we picture that situation, what often stands out isn't the things we bought recently or the things we kept just in case. It's the few things that truly mean something to us, like a letter from someone we love, an old photo that carries a feeling. We all need certain things to live well. The tools we use, the clothes that fit us and make us feel good, the furniture that supports our daily life. Those are not the problem. What quietly fills up our space and our minds are the things that no longer serve a real purpose. The items we no longer use, but feel guilty throwing away. The ones that used to fit, used to matter, used to promise something that we thought we needed. Letting go doesn't mean getting rid of everything or becoming a minimalist. It's about choosing more intentionally what truly adds value to our life now. And when we do that, the space we free up, physically and mentally, makes room for clarity, for calm, and for the things that actually make us feel more alive. Number 4, respect boundaries in every kind of relationship. We often think of boundaries as something we set with difficult people. But the truth is, boundaries are less about others and more about how gently we protect our own energy. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing not to reply to a message at midnight because getting good sleep matters more than chatting in that moment. Or saying no to a coffee catch-up, not because you're being distant, but because your mind is tired and you need a quiet moment for yourself. It's not about pushing people away. It's just learning to take better care of yourself. And sometimes it means understanding that we don't have to explain everything, that no can be a complete sentence. And when we start honoring our limits, not just physically, but emotionally, we slowly create space for a kind of peace that no one else can give us. And when we model that into our relationships, we often find that the people who truly care don't need us to always be available. Number 5, choose experiences over possessions. It's easy to believe that happiness lies in what we can own. A new phone, a better chair, another item added to the growing list of things we think we need. But the excitement fades quickly, and we start looking for the next thing. Experiences, on the other hand, have a different kind of weight. A weekend away with someone we love. A quiet afternoon in nature. A dinner filled with stories, not photos. These stay with us, quietly shaping who we are. And what's beautiful is that experiences don't need to be grand. They just need to be noticed. Like a morning walk, a shared silence or memory that we didn't expect to carry for so long. When we invest in moments instead of things, we often find that our life doesn't just feel lighter, it starts to feel fuller. Number 6, do less, but do it meaningfully. In a world that often rewards multitasking, speed, and constant output, we forget how powerful it is to give something our full attention. To write one thoughtful email, to cook one simple meal, to sit with one task and do it not just to finish, but to feel present as we do it. We don't need to be constantly productive to be valuable. And not every day needs to be impressive to be meaningful. Because sometimes, slowing down isn't falling behind. It's simply choosing to live on purpose. Number 7, care for your body. When life gets busy, our body is often the first thing we ignore and the last thing we listen to. We rush out the door without eating breakfast, trade sleep for scrolling, and move only when we feel guilty for sitting too long. But our body isn't separate from our mind. It's the foundation that holds our thoughts, our emotions, our ability to even experience peace. Caring for it doesn't have to be complicated. It can look like stretching your back after hours of sitting, choosing food that gives you steady energy instead of just quick comfort, or simply going for a short walk at the end of a long day to truly reset your mind. Number 8, stop comparing. Start noticing what's already good. We open social media just to take a break, and a few swipes later, we've convinced ourselves that someone else is doing life better than we are. Their job seems more successful, their house looks calmer, their body more fit, their days more fulfilling. And while comparison might feel passive, it slowly steals our ability to appreciate what we already have. So here's a small shift that makes a real difference. Each night, write down 3 things that went well. They don't have to be big. It could be a meal that turned out better than expected, a small win at work, or a kind word from someone you didn't expect. By training our attention to notice the good, we slowly reclaim our own story. Number 9, pause before life pushes us too far. In a world that moves fast, it's easy to believe that slowing down means falling behind. But sometimes the cost of always rushing isn't just exhaustion, it's disconnection. From ourselves, from what matters, from the kind of life we once wanted to build. That's why the pause is powerful. This pause can be 5 minutes of stillness in the morning, a weekend with no plans, a day without multitasking. It doesn't have to be long, it just has to be honest. These small pauses won't fix everything, but they help us notice when we're going on autopilot. They give us a moment to ask, am I doing too much? Am I chasing something I don't really want? Even one quiet pause in a busy day can create just enough space for a new decision. One that isn't rushed, one that feels a little more true. Number 10, not everything needs to be shared. In a world that encourages us to document everything, our meals, our thoughts, our daily routines, it's easy to forget that some of the most meaningful parts of life are meant to be kept. We rush to share an idea before it's fully formed. A special moment becomes a story. A conversation becomes content. And slowly, the line between what we live and what we perform begins to blur. But not everything sacred needs an audience. Some memories grow stronger when they're held quietly. Some thoughts become clearer when we let them stay private, at least for a while. And some emotions are best processed without feedback. Just space, time, and gentle attention. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves. It means recognizing that we're allowed to keep parts of our life just for us. It might be a notebook no one reads, a decision we make without explaining, or a morning we live offline, simply because we can. Peace often begins in the places we don't have to prove anything. And one of the kindest things we can do for ourselves is to let some moments stay quietly ours. A peaceful life doesn't mean doing less of everything. It means doing more of what truly matters. If this video gave you something to think about, leave a like. Share your favorite lesson in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you're into this kind of content, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.